history during its first phase, which is nailed. And I'm talking about the fact that half of the humankind are women. So how smart is not to use to the fully potential half of the humans? It's a rhetorical question. I'm just saying, after millennia of history, thousands of years of recorded history. Now, I call this phase nail the problem, the issue, the goal. What's the goal? On the merits, every human to be, recognized upon his or her own merit. So nailing the women leadership. I will occasionally say a few things about good things that happened, progress during my lifetime. One of them is here, women in diplomacy. This is still rara avis. This is still, the numbers are not there. There are many countries, I will not name any country, although I would like to name some countries. But as long as I'm still active ambassador, I would like to remain till my retirement. So if you're going to organize in 15 years, something like that, of course you organize every year, but in 15 years, call me and it will be full disclosure. I mean, countries who do not have yet, it's a fact, it's not an opinion, any woman ambassador, any woman, general consuls maybe. So my point with this, and of course my country is not among them. When I joined MFA in 1992, after graduated law faculty in my country, there were five women diplomats. Romania immediately after the revolution, going from socialist to capitalist. 5 women. 2 of them were dead when I joined. So accidents, how can you treat accidents? Honestly, accidents. Although in theory the politics of the socialist countries, including my own, declaratory phase was to promote, to create not equal opportunities. There were some other magic words, 3 decades ago. Now, this is a book, just in Romanian. I hope to be translated soon. I didn't find the money yet, but I will. So, why is this important? For each and every job description, we have a first generation of women professionals. Each and every job description should have a book like this, much better if you have more money. What does it mean, a generation? Does not mean 5 women, or 2 or 3, again, accidents. So in 30 years, 32 almost years, in August, going to be 32 years of diplomatic service, my country evolved a lot for 32 years. I mean, for me, 32 years means my whole adult life. For a country, it's nothing. 32 years is a generation, barely a generation, yes? So from 5 women diplomats, now 64% of the Romanian diplomats are women. Wow. I can help you check. Thanks. And I'm not the only country, not even the best. I'm just saying, maybe Nordic countries are more. Greeks are better, and so on. Anyway, this is, let's put it like this. You need to have women professionals. But then comes the second part. What's the proportion for women ambassadors, director generals in the MFA, heads of missions, director of Romanian Cultural Institute, we have something like that, few of these in Europe. So women in leadership, but you need to have the army of women, which is close to what nature provides us from any god, no matter the name of the god. Half of the humans. So 65 is, I should say, a good percentage. Good. Now, in my case, in the case of Romania, 34.8% of the ambassadors, of Romanian ambassadors, now, as we speak, are women. Which I think we are not yet golden ratio, but it's quite good. This is a book of the first generation of women, not only diplomats, although it's applicable, women diplomats from Romania, but also heads of mission. So this sort of book, we all have, you know, 3 pages of what we think about this job and a beautiful photo, you know, younger versions of us, and so on. But the point is that each and every job description should have such a book. First generation. When do you count it? That's one point. My second point. Unfortunately, more than half, I will not quote statistics, more than half of the countries of the world, I mean around 100, still seeing women as less suited for most of the jobs than men. As a concept, I'm talking about mentalities, I'm talking about sometimes elements or viruses from tradition. Sometimes tradition is used, but it's not real. It's just something that is easy. It's not always the case, and it's not always to this scale. Now, just to finish with the women in diplomacy. Since 2 years ago, 24th of June, is a United Nations International Day to celebrate women in diplomacy. And you know which country made this proposal? Mauritius. So at the global scale, what am I saying? That sometimes the progress, God bless you, of course all countries adopted and wherefore and so on, otherwise we wouldn't have now, on 24th of June of each and every year since 2022, United Nations International Day of Women in Diplomacy. But what am I saying is sometimes the progress might come from less expected countries. And the progress is there. Now, before the current wars, my favorite war, please don't put it on the internet, is Russian war in Ukraine, because Ukraine is a neighboring country. So you can, if the neighboring country is in flames, you cannot ignore it. Huh? So before the wars, before the war in the Middle East, before pandemic, United Nations published a very good research, scientific one, like any UN report, with a lot of people involved, with data, scientific methods, transparency, and so on. In accordance with that report, which was published in 2019, the humankind needs 214 years to close the gap between men and women. Socially, economically, 214 means 8 generations, 9. But that was before pandemic. That was before the wars. What else? I don't know. Intertwined crises, food or whatever. So boys are safe. No pressure attached. What are we going to do? Obviously, we will contemplate from the stars. In 8, 9 generations, no matter how you define. I'm just putting 30, 35 years for a generation. So yeah, this is a fact. Now, let me focus to Europe. European Union, most advanced countries in details in addressing this issue. The EU combined 27 countries from Europe. The EU average pay gap between men and women is 13%. 13%. Well, let's say, okay, I heard worse, obviously. The rest of the world is worse. However, you know what does it mean 13%? 2 months out of a year. 2 months out of a year. It comes, you think, well, it's not negligible. Now, back in, I don't know why I didn't check, in 2020, Romania had 2.4% one of the lowest unadjusted gender pay gaps in EU. But I didn't check the 2021, 2020, I don't know, didn't have time, apologies. Now, EU, 13%, as I said, 13% difference of payment gap, same job, same background, same thing, huh? For this, the European Union member states will need 30 years to reduce the gap, to close the gap. 13 years, 30 years to reduce the gap. And these are the most impressive figures worldwide. But that's my point. According to this study and this data, you can find it on internet, one of the main reasons why the pay gap still persists in EU state members is that women are still the primary caregivers when it comes to children. By skipping time, months or years of their careers, most women in the EU suffer from a cumulative effect on their overall wages. Even after they come back to work, they often end up in part-time jobs or doing low-skilled labor. Again, this is EU. The rest of the world. Now, I will skip our tradition in encouraging young girls to go to technical unis. There's a preconception which will never surprised me more in my whole life, and I have 55 years old. When I heard that in many families, the parents, in many countries, in many families, parents think that girls are not suited to go to IT, mathematics, chemistry, physics. There's no scientific on that. There's no, so far. They might find something, but as we speak, is nothing. Malaysia is doing very well, by the way. Statistically, in Malaysia, so something went good, not only wrong. In Malaysia, the number of alumni of universities in STEM, what they call STEM, scientific, technical, engineering, is, so more women are graduating than men. So far, so good, bravo Malaysia. However, not the gap, but the thing that should be addressed more is for the alumni girls, young females, to find a job, to identify a job in accordance with the level of their education. Of course they will find jobs in next second after that, but to be in accordance with their study. From the beginning, junior, but you know, what they study. So that's something that needs to be addressed not only in the country, but you know, it's more visible when countries did so. You know how many things you did, many things here in Malaysia. Now, the gender gap in full-time jobs in the 27 EU countries, and I'm always referring to EU because, yeah, this is what it is highest. So the gap in full-time jobs is highest between women and men who are single and women and men in couples with children. Facts. So equal pay still has a long road ahead. That is, women in the EU are overrepresented in minimum wage jobs. Unfortunately, not only in EU. I'm not even looking after statistics. It's obvious. Equal pay is not just a matter of justice, and this is a fact. All economists are saying it's an engine for boosting the economy and expanding the workforce in all sectors and industries. Women, now it's equality, it's not something to be criticized, would get more to spend. This is our nature. And this would increase the tax base as well. It's not a bad thing. Somebody needs to help the economy. Now, women on boards. This is how they call the EU Directive for Consolidated Gender Balance for Non-Executive Administrators at the stock exchange listed companies. So basically, until 2026, 40% of non-executive administrators to be appointed must be, not should be, must be women. Or, you know, so the countries may choose in EU sometimes. This regulation in particular allow the opportunity to choose. Either 40% of non-executive are women appointed in the boards, yes, as administrators, or 33% of all administrators should be women in 2026. I think this is a specific point which is developing in Malaysia. This is what I've noticed since I came to the country in 2021. I've noticed that more, even in media, more announcement of women being appointed, women to be cherished in accordance with, even they are retired or senior, not old, never say old, just senior, if you need to. Now, deepening the democracy, this is what we are talking about. And yeah, Romania and Malaysia, we are working together in Geneva in Human Rights Council for the, this is the last year we're going to be jointly in the Human Rights Council. And yes, we are doing good things. They are not very well known because they are not seductive in any internal domestic media. Now, my last point, believe it or not, one point about the administration. So I was contemplating what's going on in Romanian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In 2022, my country reached 50% women, 50% men in terms of how they call it, higher hierarchy. So Secretary General, Deputy Secretary General, Director General, Deputy Director General, so decision-making position in across the administration. 2022. I pray not to be worse now. But this was for, let's say, for the first time, just for the sake of the curiosity. In some like MFA, it's better in terms of position. Leadership position, 51.1% men, so 49% women. Leadership position in MFA, because this is the key. Ministry of Economy, we are doing very well in decision. In between 2018, you will see why I'm laughing. Between 2018 and 2022, so for 5 years, the first decision level, how they call this, were 100% women. No, it's an extreme, I know, but you know, there were some members of the cabinet who were comfortable with this, and they are quite smart. Women are hardworking. Yes. Now, I will say, and that's truly the end, the names of very spectacular women who put my country on the map of the world. So if you need to remember one thing, one word from what I'm saying today, remember Gerovital. Gerovital. What is Gerovital? Hydrogen-free fountain of youth. Gerovital, hydrogen-free. It was invented by Professor Dr. Anna Aslan, she passed away, after the Second World War. It's about the fact that she discovered the anti-aging effects of procaine. Procaine. That's a substance who will not make us immortal, because this is utopia. Plus, you never want to see all your relatives and all your friends pass away, and you are still wondering, Come on. It's not as easy. It's a moral question. No. But procaine is slowing the degradation process of aging, because aging is degradation. And procaine, Gerovital, fountain of youth. You should buy it. It's good inside and outside. Yes. Dr. Sofia Ionescu Ogrezianu is the first Romanian woman neurosurgeon in the Second World War. She lived. Queen Maria of Romania, maybe the greatest female personality in Romanian history, married King Ferdinand 100 years ago. She was a spectacular person. One thing that I would like to mention in particular here, because I met two lovely representatives of Baha'i community. At a certain stage, she became a follower of Baha'i. I make a promise. I will try to have another movie of Queen Maria soon. Here you can do movies here, because this movie, it was also censored by Malaysian. No. It's mandatory. I'm not even listening what you're saying. Yes. Now, Dr. Florica Bагдazar, the first physician woman minister in Romania. Between 1946 and 1948, she might be the first woman ever appointed as minister anywhere. 1946, so yesterday morning. Sarmina Bilcescu was the first European woman, Romanian, who ever obtained a license and PhD in law from the University of Paris. Europe's first woman attorney, after being admitted to the Bar Association in Ilfov County, in my country, in 1891. However, she never practiced. We can imagine why. The first female in engineering was a Romanian, Elida Leonida Zamfirescu, Second World War. You all know Nadia Comăneci. She was the first gymnast. Actually, she was awarded a 1.
Perfect 10.
Why? Because the electronic display had just free. The person who invented never thought that anybody on earth will reach a performance of 10. So they have the 9.99 was the highest. So that's why she was awarded a 1, by the way. She lives in USA. I'm trying to bring her here. I cannot afford this complicated. Elena Caragiani Stoenescu, the first Romanian woman aviator, managed to obtain a pilot license in France in 110 years ago. One more minute. Smaranda Brăescu, first woman parachute jumper. This is what it is, huh? A record highest parachute. Well, when you are the first, you have many first, huh? Elena Ghica, Romanian princess, alpinist princess. The first member of the royal family who made alpinism. Huh? The safety insurance might have been quite... we have women who received Nobel laureate, and of course Simona Halep for the tennis lovers. She will come back. She finally got some justice. And please look at this photo. This woman, she's a highly recognized professor. She was associated dean at Asia School of Business here in Malaysia. One of the founders. She wrote this book. Maybe you have a library and can put it. The name of the book is interesting. The job is easy, the people are not. She conducted some interviews. Now she's professor at Boston University. If she ever will come back to Malaysia, I will try to grab her somehow.
She came for the
Yes, organized by KSI. Yes. Thank you very much for your attention. You are a great public. You are doing your best utmost every day.
Yeah.